Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. Jacques. What's up, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is your way. What's going on? What's happening? Welcome into the show. If you're watching us here on Bleacher Report, man, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Bleacher Report as well. Follow us here on Bleacher Report at Lorenzo_the_Hawk. Follow my boy Jacques at Jacques Merrill. If you're watching this anywhere else on YouTube, follow us on YouTube, Tennessee Titans Weekly, Apple, Spotify, Instagram. We're everywhere, y'all. We're everywhere. So, Jacques.
Yes, sir.
It's our rookie show, Jacques.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. We've been talking about the rookies a lot, but it's been a little different. Yeah, I mean, they're already on the roster, getting ready for training camp, so it's gonna be a little bit different show of rookies starting, if that makes sense. So
yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. So y'all, well, we're gonna start getting into the show here, y'all. So we've talked a lot about the rookies. And as you know, as far as the rookies right now, looking at the draft right here, as you all see, the number one pick, of course, the number one pick in the entire NFL draft, Miami quarterback Cameron Ward. We got the defensive edge in Oladejo. We got the safety Kevin Winston Jr., the safety from Penn State. We also have Chimere, Dike, the wide receiver from Florida. Gunnar, Helm, the tight end from Texas. Elic, Ayomanor, the wide receiver from Stanford. Jackson Slater, the rough guard at Sacramento State. Marcus Harris, the corner from Cal. And Kalel Mullings, the big running back out of Michigan. All right, so that is our rookie class, as you all know. It's been talked about throughout. So we are going to talk about the rookies that can not only get some playing time this year, who can be an impact. We're going to talk about rookies that we feel have a great chance of starting. I mean, to a point like they're going to start. So we're going to talk about that right now. We got those poll questions out there, by the way. So the first thing I want to ask, Jacques, as far as the rookies, of course, we got that boy Cam Ward. And right now, it has not been said that he's going to start. We don't know yet. We're not sure. So I'm going to ask you, as far as Cam Ward, I'm going to put that question out there as well. Will Cam Ward start week 1 against the Denver Broncos for the Tennessee Titans?
Will he start week 1 for the Tennessee Titans? I'm going to guarantee say yes, he will be the week 1 starter. The reason why is because you've invested this much into your number 1 pick, which was you invested in a quarterback at the number 1 pick. And history shows it can go 2 ways. You can sit them and have them learn, but usually that works when you already have a product. Like I'll use an example of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, right? Brett Favre was on the latter part of his career. You draft Aaron Rodgers. It's like an even swap, if that makes sense. So you can be patient. Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes, the same concept, right? And then it gives them time to just sear. You cook Hawk, you season very well. You let it marinate. All of a sudden, you throw it on the grill. Boom, it's good to go, right? In this situation, you have a situation where you need somebody to come in day 1 and kind of hit the ground running. Luckily enough, Cam Ward is already he's setting the groundwork for him to be successful already in the NFL. Being successful in the NFL doesn't just mean you just go out there and play, right? It's how you prepare. It's how you become a leader. It's how are you respected amongst your teammates or your coaches? Are you willing to learn when you make a mistake, right? So in this instance, yes, he will be a day 1 starter. Only way I can foresee that happening is 1 in training camp. If he just has a big digression, if he digresses and he takes a step back, like wow, what happened, right? Or he gets injured, he gets hurt, which we don't want that to happen. Let me knock on wood, because we don't want that to ultimately happen. But yes, he will be the week 1 starter for the Tennessee Titans when we play the Denver Broncos and throughout the season. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper, Jacques. I totally understand exactly what you're saying as far as with Cam Ward. When week 1 starts against the Denver Broncos, Cameron Ward will be our starting quarterback. I know they got to put the pads on. Camp will be here for real, the real deal camp. To your point, we don't have a guaranteed, guy that we know can give us some wins. We got Will Levis, yes, but we see what happened last year. And I want to just continue to reiterate, we won 3 football games last year. 3, okay? We were the worst team in the league last year. And what did we do? We drafted a quarterback. So Cam Ward will be our starting quarterback week 1, whether he's ready or not. He's going to be our starting quarterback. I think they're going to throw him out there regardless, and he's going to have to figure it out. And, for the Titans to win football games, you need to know, what you have in front of you. And Cam Ward is that type of guy. He's been working out. He's been there early in the morning. He's getting reps. And we're going to get an opportunity to see him when the preseason starts, the practices and things. We're going to really get to see him instead of taking the word from people. I'm going to watch and see really what he does out there. Cam Ward will be starting week 1 for the Tennessee Titans. The Titans have no primetime games, right? That's another sign. This is a business, man. The Titans had Will Levis last year, Mason Rudolph, and me out there at quarterback, right? That's not going to get it done. So you have to look at, okay, not only are we trying to win football games, we got to put some notoriety back on this team, man. We got to get back in the spotlight somehow. We got the number 1 pick, no primetime games. We got to get back in the fold. Cam Ward will be starting week 1 for the Tennessee Titans 2025. Count it.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go to the offensive rookies talk, and I think we've drafted. If you can bring your list back up for me, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we drafted a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 offensive rookies. Out of those 4 offensive rookies, besides Cam Ward, so we'll go to the 3 offensive rookies. Which of those rookies do you think will be a day 1 starter?
That's a great question, Jacques. We got that poll question out there as well. I'm going to tell you who I feel.
It was actually 5, my bad. Go ahead. Because I forgot about Caleb Mullings.
Yeah. I will tell you that I think there's one guy on this roster, on this rookie class that's going to start week 1, 2025, is this guy right here, Elic Ayomanor. I think this guy will be the X receiver. I think you'll have him and Calvin Ridley and Tyrell Lockett out there. I think those will be your 3 starting receivers when the season starts. That position is wide open. Even though, Chimere Dike was drafted before Elic, I do think Elic fits the bill of a tall receiver. If you think of Nick Westbrook-Akina, that's the role he played last year. Elic's got more speed. I really like Nick Westbrook-Akina. I'm not taking it away from him. But I do think you got a young guy in Elic who is a playmaker who I think of all the players that we drafted, I think he was one of the guys that actually got drafted lower than I anticipated. Elic is already making plays out there on the field in this camp. Him and Cam Ward already seem to have chemistry. We need receiver play. Calvin really did have over 1,000 yards receiving, man. But outside of that, man, we had no, Nick Westbrook-Akina had a lot of touchdowns, but we really need more play out of the young receivers. And we need a guy out there that's going to build that continuity with Cam Ward as rookies. We need 2 rookies out there. Put them out on the field, right? So I think there is a player on this roster that's a rookie that will get a chance when you look at the roster and you look at the draft. I do think Elic Ayomanor, round 4, pick 136, will be the starting receiver, the X receiver for the Tennessee Titans come 2025. What about you, Jacques? Who do you feel will be the rookie who have the biggest chance to start?
I'm actually going Gunnar Helm, the tight end from Texas.
All right.
And I feel like the tight end position right now from that second spot is open. Our boy Chig already has the number 1 tight end spot locked down. Now, not guaranteed, if that makes sense, right? But we know he's the veteran in the room. Josh Wiley, to me, hasn't showed enough, and Gunnar is making some noise in training camp as well. And I think once him and Cam get on the same page, and something a lot of people, if you weren't paying attention in Miami, Cam loves his tight ends, right? He loves his tight ends, especially in the middle and the seam. So I can see him and Gunnar getting some more connection in training camp and even in preseason. If they let Cam play in preseason, that'd be a whole other conversation. But if they allow Cam to play in preseason, I guarantee you Gunnar Helm would be that second tight end that he'll have an opportunity to be a day 1 starter. Elic, the thing about him, the wide receiver room is so packed. It's man, it's super packed. But the tight end in the room, in my opinion, is not that packed. And it's wide open competition. So for me, it's Gunnar Helm.
Gunnar Helm. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so we have our offensive rookies who we feel that could start for the Titans come 2025. So as far as defensive players, okay, so we go back to the draft. We look at who we drafted. on our team on defense. We didn't have as many defensive players. I think we only had two. We had three actually. Oladejo, the linebacker from UCLA, who's going to be a defensive end or slash edge. Kevin Winston Jr., the safety from Penn State, and Marcus Harris, the corner from California. So, out of these rookies, who do you feel will be a starter for our defense in 2025?
Pull that list back up for me, huh? If you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
I just want to see something here. I'm going Olu. He's a second round pick, man. And that end position is wide open as well, right? It's one of those positions that we didn't. We went out and got a veteran, but I mean, it's not a premier veteran. And when teams do that, they're saying, "Hey, Rook, it's all you. Go right ahead, do your thing." So for me, it's Femi. Femi should have the greatest opportunity out of all the defensive players to get more playing time, get more opportunities to learn his position, and then third to get out there, unless he don't get hurt. Let's hope he don't get hurt. Not gonna do it again. To take somebody's spot. I mean, we do have Arden Key, right? Which you expecting him to be on the other side, but with Femi, man, Femi has the high energy, and it also depends on how fast he picks it up, right? You know the saying when the pads come on, it's a little bit different. So for me, it's Femi, man. What about you?
Facts, no paper, Jacques. You know, looking at this defense, you know, looking at where we are as far as these rookies, right? So, man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I want to say Oladejo. I want to say Oladejo for sure because again, you look at it, we only have three rookies that are on defense, right? You look at Marcus Harris. I think it'll be tough for him to start, really just based on certain factors. You got Darrell Baker, you got Jarvis Brownlee, you got Roger McCrary, and you got L'Jarius Sneed. But with L'Jarius Sneed not playing, there's a spot open. There's a spot open. And I don't know if Darrell Baker will be the other starter, which I'm assuming he will be when the season starts. But I do think Marcus Harris, like Jarvis Brownlee, will have opportunities to go out there and show what he can do. Kevin Winston's injured, so he won't be out there to start, I don't think. I honestly think it would be Winston if he was healthy. I think I would say Kevin Winston. Kevin Winston's cold, man. Kevin Winston's a tackler. He's a playmaker. He's just hurt. So I'm going to say Femi Oladejo based on that factor. And I think Oladejo is going to have, I don't think it's right offhand he starts. He's going to have to earn his spot. To your point, we got Arden Key. You know, we got Sebastian Joseph Day. We got Jeffrey Simmons. We got T'Vondre Sweat. I'm almost leaning to tell you, man, there won't be any rookies that's going to start 2025 at the beginning of the season. I'm going to say nobody, dog. I'm going to say none of them. I think they'll play. Oladejo will be on the field to be situational, but I think some things will have to happen. Whether Arden Key is just not performing well, it might be an injury. He will be the likelihood to start if Kevin Winston's hurt and say L'Jarius Sneed is out there on the field where Marcus Harris can't start and Winston can't play. I say Oladejo. But I think these guys right now are situational. So I'm going to say right now, Jacques, at the start of the season, nobody. I don't think any of them will start when the season starts. Don't be surprised if it be Marcus Harris. Just really based
I was thinking the same thing with Marcus Harris. He's my dark horse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a dark horse for me that he can sneak up in there because the DB room is kind of light right now.
Yep.
And you can anybody can kind of get in there. When I mean DB room, I mean cornerback specifically. So
right, for sure.
So he was like a dark horse. Hey, you read my mind. That's funny.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, if you look the way our defense is, man, you know, you look at our defense. You know, we have Sebastian Joseph Day out there at our left end, and we got Arden Key out there as well. He's on the other side. You know, sometimes they flex Jeffrey Simmons out. We got Draymond Jones. I mean, we have a lot of players out there. It's going to take him a minute. He'll eventually be a starter. I'll say that he will start. He was drafted too high not to start. But when the season starts, I don't see nobody right now, Josh.
Yeah, be more like rotation.
Yeah, facts. Yep, facts.
Yeah, we'll see. Besides Cam, though, my next question: who do you think will be the rookie that'll be a potential high performer in this year's for 2025? And what I mean by high performer, we know we have Cam, who's expected to be he has rookie of the year expectations, if that makes sense. But who on this rookie class list would you consider to be the next potential surprise dark horse rookie that can be like, man, I didn't see that coming. Yeah. He's outperformed his position that he was drafted. and he's has potential to be rookie of the year, just hypothetically speaking.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
Give me a person.
So I'm going to answer in twofold. It's hard to answer, say rookie of the year, like because this guy's hurt. I really like Kevin Winston, bro. So I'm going to say Kevin Winston, man, and I think this guy has the best opportunity when he's healthy. I don't think folks really understand how good Kevin Winston is as a safety. Okay, Kevin Winston's a playmaker. He makes tackles. On Penn State's defense before he got hurt, he was the best player on their defense outside of Abdul Carter. This guy here is a playmaker at safety. And so we haven't seen nothing of him yet because he's been hurt. But I think if there's a best rookie on our team, I would say Elic Ayomanor next year for sure. But he's my dark horse. This guy's my dark horse. I think he could be our best player in this draft outside of Cam Ward when it's all said and done. I like Kevin Winston Jr., Jock. What about you, Jock?
I'm actually because I would have said Kevin if he wasn't hurt. That's my thing. If he wasn't hurt, but I'm going to Elic. I'm going to Elic. I'm going to Elic, bro, because Elic has the potential to do something that someone that we haven't had since AJ Brown, right? And from his height to his weight, to how he high points and catches the ball, to where you're already making noises in rookie minicamp and minicamp, right? And I'm excited to see what he can do. And he was the only player to kind of get the best of Travis Hunter, right? And I know you can't live off the past like that, right? But at the same time, what he's been able to show me is he looks good, man. He looks real good.
Yeah.
And he has the potential, not just this year, but like Kevin Winston Jr., it's a future pick where Calvin's not going to be here forever. Tyler Lockett, he's on a 1-year deal. Van Jefferson's on a 1-year deal. So these 1-year deals is telling me, hey, how fast they can get up to speed is how fast they're gonna replace y'all, right? The replacement theory, right? So for me, it's Elic. I just think Elic has the juice to where eventually he's going to elevate, and eventually, he'll be that X, and you'll be like, wow, and you're like, okay. I do have a second dark horse is Dike. I feel like if Dike can learn the route tree, Dike can be dangerous.
Man.
If
he
can be dangerous. He reminds me of Will Fuller. You remember Will Fuller, man, who was a one-trick pony.
Of course.
He hit that zero route and go. But the route tree wasn't his best friend. And I think if I'm Dike, I'm learning the route tree because it's going to make you a hot commodity and it's going to get you thrown in the offense faster.
That's right.
And you know this, we played especially I played a little bit of receiver. You played a little bit of receiver.
Right.
The fastest way to get on the field is learn that route tree. Learn that route tree. You got it. I can do a lot more with you if you know.
Agree. Hey man, Chimere Dike looks good out there, bro, in the route tree, bro. He from what we've seen, smooth on his routes. He has a lot of speed, and I agree with you. Now I'm gonna tell you another guy, Jacques, that I like, and I think we'll see over time. He was drafted later in the draft, but when Kevin Ziegler, when he retires, man, that boy Jackson Slater, man. That boy Jackson Slater, right? That boy's a dog, man. He's a dog, right? So he could end up learning this year, you know what I'm saying, growing as a rookie, you know, to where next year he could be, you know, be a starting guard. You don't have to be a high draft pick to be a guard to be successful in this league. And so I think, you know, this guy here has an opportunity to, you know, to do something, you know what I'm saying, this season. And he'll get a chance to play. You know, you're going to play as a rookie. I mean, in any way, especially on the offensive line, you can't have enough linemen. You have 3 chances to play: left, right guard, or center. Either somebody's going to get hurt at times, fill in, right? And I think he might be that next person to step up at guard. So I like, and then when you think of Jackson Slater, Jacques, when you look at Madden, he's our highest rated rookie. Jackson Slater, right? Look at this, man. This is crazy. See that? He's a 70. He is by far the highest Madden rating rookie that we have. A 75 overall, bro. Now, I'm not sitting there telling you Madden is the Bible of football, because it's not. And again, you know, within the first practices and preseason starts, these numbers will change. But they themselves think that Jackson Slater is our best overall rookie for his position, right? And he was picked in the 6th round. So, you know, so I can see Jackson Slater. So tell me what you think about this Madden rating stuff, John. Off what you see.
So with Madden, man, and if like I said, if you've played, if I'm an avid Madden head, And when I look at ratings, Madden systems, like from just a mechanical systems now, has changed so much. Those you can shoot. If you're playing, you can shoot those ratings up fast because they got all these little things that you can do to upgrade them and everything. But off the rip, I think there's a travesty when it comes to Cam Ward. I think he should be higher, at least about a 75. I think he should be up there with Jackson Slater, man.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of unique. Elic, I think that's perfect for him, especially from a rookie that was drafted in the fourth round.
Yeah.
From a Madden's perspective, that's fine. Caleb Mullins has surprised me actually. I'm like a 70. That's kind of a surprise rating. Chimere, that makes sense. 69, which is not bad. Gunnar Helm, 69, which is not bad. Marcus Harris, 69. Femi, actually, these ratings, bro. To be honest with you, where their draft position is supposed to be.
Yep, I know. It's the
Marcus,
opposite.
Yeah. Marcus Harris back in the day would be like a 55 or something.
Yeah,
crazy.
Right. Facts.
Femi would be second round pick, probably about a 70, right?
Yep.
Gunnar Ham, when he was picked, he should be lower, but again, if you're playing Madden and you know the rating system, it's not going to take you long to get these rookies up to like a 75 or a 71 or 72. So I think only one that I'm really questioning, and there's really two. Why is Cam Ward a 71? Madden, if you're watching this, you need to answer that ASAP. Two, Kaylin Mullins is really surprised me at a 70.
Yeah. Yep.
She should be lower
I got
draft positions.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. It's opposite, isn't it, bro?
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you this, y'all looking at this. Okay, sometimes the 6 and the 7 can throw you off, where it seems like a 60 and a 70 is way off. But if you look at it, they're all like 1 point away from each other, right? From Cam Ward to Kevin Winston is only 3 points. You know what I'm saying? So they're all the same. They all about the same, to be honest with you, bro. And Kalel Mullings, man, hey. I've heard great things about Kalel Mullings, bro. Like, Tony Pollard will be our starter, and of course Tajay Spears at number 2. But Kalel is different than both of them by far. Where, Pollard and Spears are different, but not as different as Kalel Mullings is to them, right? Kalel Mullings is not a speed back; he is a power back, which the Titans like to play, and so Mullings also plays on special teams. So I think Kalel Mullings will make the team. And he could push for some reps, especially if Tajay Spears isn't healthy or gets hurt. Mullings is gonna play. He can also be a red zone touchdown running back. You know what I mean? So, looking at these stats. So the two things that I'm looking at, I absolutely agree with you with Cam Ward being a 71. I would think he'd be a little bit higher than that, but that'll change. It's on him. He'll make that change. I am the Oladejo. I'm not really surprised, bro. I know it's flipped because Oladejo is a linebacker converted to an end, so he's going to have to prove that he's got speed, he's got athleticism and things. But I'm shocked of how high Jackson Slater is at 75.
Yeah, me too. That's unique, and I would love to pick the Madden's the Madden team period of how they grade their rookies on overall scaling, right? So shout out to Justin Graver from Titans Film Room.
Shout out to him.
So shout out to you, man.
But
yeah, this is unique. And the funny part about it, it's actually not from a Madden perspective. This is perfect actually because of the simple fact it won't take me long to get you at a positive rating, right?
Right.
Because I think in Madden a positive rating is anything over a 70. As a rookie, and then you keep building up throughout the season, like adding different points and the points that you pick up when you're playing in the games and stuff, and you can quickly scale up, basically, right?
Yeah.
So Jackson Slater or G75 by the time the season end, you can be at an 85 as a guard, right? And same way with Cam, I mean, so. But shout out to the people that got to play the game early. I've heard some great things about this particular Madden and how much it's changed. But yeah, these Madden ratings are funny, dog.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. So, Jacques, you speak. I've been hearing you speak a lot about the preseason. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section. So, Jacques, I've been hearing you say a lot about, man, I don't know if this guy's gonna be playing in the preseason. as in Cameron Ward. Why is that?
Man, it's a couple things. I think that when you know you have something good, you don't want to tear it up, right? You know,
All right.
and so what tends to happen with our luck, how the Titans coaching staff is they won't play you as much. So I use Will Levis, for example. Last year in the preseason, he got how many reps in the preseason? It was minimal, right?
Yep.
But
Facts.
you had Malik Willis who was taking both of the reps. Okay.
Right.
And you're trying to see what you got.
Ah.
And so what happened was it was the opposite. It should have been Will Levis taking the bulk of the reps in preseason and Malik Willis chilling and doing what he done. But ultimately, it got Malik traded and he got to start a couple of games. It benefited him more than it benefited Will Levis. It actually hurt Will Levis. So I think with Cam, if he's doing his thing in training camp, he continues to show out because he continues to do his thing, right? To get fans excited, play him, which he's going to play. He's going to play, right? And with him playing, you get to. I'm telling you, that first preseason game, dude, is going to be packed out. Mark my words, okay?
Right.
Because everybody's going to want to see who.
Absolutely.
Who, right.
Absolutely. Right.
So,
Facts.
And so, with that being said, if you're the Titans, you play it smart. You're like, okay, hey, let's play them maybe the first half, which is probably this is exactly probably how it's going to play out. They're going to play them the first half. Once they play him the first half, they're like, okay, we've seen enough. He thought if he go out there and throw like 2 touchdowns, hell no, we've seen enough.
Right.
Go sit him. And I use your analogy that you use. I've seen enough.
I've seen enough.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done.
Go sit him down. Go ahead and sit him down. Go ahead and sit him down. I forgot who he did that to.
Tajay Spears.
It was Tajay Spears. It was. It was Tajay Spears. So in the preseason, I would, because we got 2 away games, and then we got our last game, I think is our home game. However it is. We only got 1 preseason home game. Right. So you better give the fans something nice, okay?
Yep. Facts.
You better give them a surprise or something. But I wouldn't be surprised if they put them on a management schedule because they want them fresh for the first game.
Right.
Will he play? Yes, but I just know how the Titans are, man. They got him something good. They gonna sell him. All right, go sit down, dude. You ain't got
Yeah.
I mean, do you think he's gonna play?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I hadn't thought much about it until you brought it up, to be honest with you. And then you just brought a hell of a scenario about the Will Levis situation, right? So I do think Cam Ward will play. I do think it'll be tiered. I think week 1, to your point, he'll play a little bit and then bench him. Game 2, I think he'll play like the whole first half and bench him. He won't play game 3 at all, 0. So I think it'll be like that. So we will get to see number 1 out there on the field for sure. But to your point, if you know you got something good, you don't want the league to see it, man. Hey, hold on. But the team is so bad, and we want to see how he gels. And even with Will Levis not playing much last year in the preseason, even if he had played a whole lot, I still don't think it would have mattered. He still would have had a bad season. You know what I mean? And so, with Cam Ward, sometimes it's like, okay, if he plays or doesn't play or whatever, it could help or whatever. But come week 7, bro, no one cares about, well, he should have played more in the preseason. You know what I'm saying? It's more of those first 2 games in the regular season where you really see that impact. As season goes on, you are who you are. It doesn't just miraculously change because you played an extra quarter in the preseason. You know what I mean? But so I do think we'll see him probably 33% of the way in the preseason.
And I look at preseason as important reps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not seeing how because I think about it, if you would have had more reps in that preseason, you could have seen more things. You could have more tape to correct different things versus you taking a half off. You're like, man, I ain't got no tape to really just critique myself besides the people I've already been playing with. So I look at it that way versus just saying, hey, like you said, he didn't get no reps. He got the reps, but it didn't help him. He should have played it. I look at it reps. Every rep is important because it's a learning moment and a teaching tool in that particular rep that I can teach you in that moment. Or we can go back and watch tape. So
Right. I got you, man. So, well, cool, man. Well, so we have one more rookie that we want to talk about, Jacques, man. Now, he wasn't drafted, and he's a rookie, and he was a top target rookie in training camp, and that's Xavier Restrepo. Now, we've talked about chances of him making his team and things like that. Where do you has things changed? Do you still feel that he can make this team? Do you feel has a good chance? Or, if we're looking at the rookie class and things, what do you think about Restrepo?
Restrepo gonna take somebody's job. He has to get on. I think if once he gets in the special teams realm of it, if he can make a home on special teams, and it depends on how many receivers the Titans keep, right?
Yep.
You still got people like Bryce Oliver,
Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson. You got Traylon Burks.
Yep.
We know what Van Jefferson is. We know what Tyler Lockett is. We know what Dike and Elic is. We know what Calvin Ridley is. You got one more spot, right? You potentially have two more spots that I look at and I'm like, Restrepo's making noise in training in mini camps. He's been making noise. He's been improving each time. And so training now, when I talk about reps, this is the most important piece of it. He needs to play every snap, every rep in preseason on special teams.
Facts has to.
He has to get out. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. If Restrepo goes out there and he makes plays on special teams, and it's not just returning kicks or punts, but if he's making tackles and all that, that's going to help him. And two, if he gets in the preseason and he scores like 2 or 3 touchdowns, ain't got to be nothing crazy, and he has like 60 or 70 yards each game, and he has like 7 to 8 to 10 receptions, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if this happens, it's going to be hard to cut him. And if you cut him after the preseason, somebody going to pick him up like a Dallas or the Chiefs, and he's going to be in this league forever. Mark my words. So, yes, I still think he can make this team. And I think its percentage keeps going up in which each iteration of practice that they do. So what about you, Al?
Yeah. So I think your point earlier is how many are we going to bring to the season? 7, 8? I think normally the Titans, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Titans have normally carried about 7 receivers.
Yes, in certain
circumstances. 7. Yeah. Okay, so let's say 8. We'll say 8 is a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
Okay, so when you look at the receivers that we have, we got Calvin Ridley, we got Tyler Lockett, that's 2. We got Van Jefferson, we got Chimere Dike, you got Elic Ayomanor, you got James Prochet, you got Mason Kinsey,
Traylon Burks.
You have Traylon Burks, you got Colton Dowell, you got Bryce Oliver, you got Xavier Restrepo, you got Jaquan Jackson. I just named 12 receivers right off rip. 12. Can he be the top 7? That's going to be a challenge. I think it's going to be very tough for Xavier Restrepo. I'm not saying it won't happen, because if I felt that way, I would say he ain't making his team. I'm saying he has a chance, but he's going to have to separate himself, to your point, in the preseason. He's going to have to find ways to score touchdowns, make tackles on special teams, and be like because when you look at certain players like Jaquan Jackson, who's a punt returner, so he's not going to make tackles. He returns kicks or whatever. James Prochet's a speed receiver, still unproven. Bryce Oliver made a lot of nice strides last year. Pretty solid receiver. Played a little bit on special teams. Colton Dowell is a special teams killer out there. He does a great job. He's come back from an injury, and you drafted him. Mason Kinsey's been around for a very long time here with the Titans. They have a trust factor in him. Van Jefferson, you bring him in as a free agent. Of course, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, and unless they cut Tyler Lockett, you know what I mean? You never know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think the challenge in Traylon Burks, you gotta. He has a big challenge. What he has an advantage of, he's a free agent. He don't cost a lot. So you gotta look at that too financially, right? So to make the top 7 or top 8, he's got a hill to climb. I'm gonna say probably about a 33% chance he makes his team.
I'm gonna say this: if you want to change your culture and how you've done things, he was a draftable player. He's actually was supposed to be drafted between that 2nd and 5th round, right? And I look at this as a good opportunity for the Titans' future brass, because once Tyler Lockett is gone, Van Jefferson is gone. I think you said, Prochet? What's his name?
Yeah, James Prochet.
James Prochet. He's not going to be here. Bryce Oliver, I like Bryce Oliver. He's been a practice squad guy along with Mason Kinsey, who are taking up spots. At this point, they're taking up spots, right? If I was building this team, for example, I'll use Madden, for example. I play Madden. If I position in my team, I position them for the future. he's a hell of a future option, specifically if my quarterback has played with him and has broken records with him with Miami. I get to your point, Hawk. It's gonna be a hill to climb. But from what I've been hearing, he's been making good strides and good noise. Right. So again, if he continues to do that, the saying is, if they're talking about you, you're doing something good. If they're not talking about you, something's wrong, right? Or it could be good in the same breath, right? So in this situation, if they're talking about you undrafted, but they're talking about you, yeah, you got you something. And then I guarantee you he's working with Cam. And him and Cam, one advantage he has over all these receivers, he has already chemistry with Cam. He has chemistry with Cam. And shout out to TD Teron Davenport, man, from ESPN. He covers the Titans. He made an observation, and he said out of all the receivers that he observed throughout this process, he said Restrepo was the most complete receiver out of all of them. So let that sink in. So again, it all depends. He has a hill to climb, but he has a couple of advantages in his basket that'll fare him well. So
give me a number. Give me a percentage. You think of him making the team?
I say about a 40% chance.
40%.
And again, if you don't pick him up, then he'll be in this league for a while. I guarantee that. I guarantee, because there'll be a team out there that'll see that and they'll be like, okay, yeah, bring him on in. The 40 time, I'm not worried about the 40 time.
Yeah.
Bring him on in. So
I want to see him. Yeah. I can't wait. That's why I can't wait to see them in camp. I want to see him, because if you think about it, we're talking about an unrestricted, a free agent that tells you right there, like, he's got clout, because it's rare to talk about a free agent like that, right? So he has done his thing or whatever. It could be a numbers game, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think it'll be a numbers game for sure.
So cool. Well, folks, we want to say thank you all for tuning in to the show, man. Again, shout out to Bleacher Report as well for the platform. Thank you as well, always. If you have not followed us here on Bleacher Report, shame on you. Follow us now. Follow me at Lorenzo_the_Hawk. Follow my boy here, Jacques Merrill. You can follow us on YouTube at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can follow us on Instagram, Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Twitter, Titans Weekly 24/7. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. Y'all, we're everywhere. We are diversified. Check us out. We are around.
Yeah, when you do check us out, man, like, subscribe, cut your notification bells on to let you know when we post any new content. Or when we go live, like we're doing this, for example. You can always come in and participate. We don't bite. Of course, we'll take any question, anything that you want. But again, as I say every show, man, we appreciate you. Appreciate Bleacher Report for giving us this opportunity. And then thank you for the Weekly family, man, for rocking with us since we've been doing this thing from the beginning. So appreciate y'all. And Hawk, as I say all the time, man, take us home, dog.
Yes, sir. Well, we hope you all have a great rest of your week. 4th of July this weekend as well. Y'all be safe out there. Be careful. If you're in the Nashville area, you all know how it goes down in 4th of July, man. One of the biggest fireworks shows in the country. It's going to be popping out, man. So, hey, as we always say and as we always do, folks, facts.
No paper.